Good time zone. And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. I've looked up. I think there's only from the PV, there's only 2 characters I needed to look up who potentially could show up. If there's anyone else, that's not my fault. This is a big one. We've got so many good skins. Like, buying every single one of them good skins, pretty much. Gonna be broke after this. We've got modules for agents. I do not actually know what any of them do. Are they good? Of course, we have Ines, the one we truly care about. Redeployment time reduction, which is nice. It improves her binding steel trait as well. To up to 110 at level 3. Otherwise, a little bit extra HP, a little bit extra attack. Nothing too crazy. But redeployment time is nice, especially for a character like Ines. Cantabile gets the same one. And she gets more ASPD when not blocking an enemy and more attack when blocking an enemy. Significantly more. More than her base max potential talent actually gives. Sometimes they kind of give the same thing, but actually hers is much higher. From 14% to 18% attack. 14 ASPD to 18 ASPD. The other 3 agents have less likely to be attacked modules. I imagine they are the ones without camouflage, right? So that kind of makes sense. But they'd get that one instead. Shilchuk gets a full minute of elemental damage resistance. I also got 2 modules for Logos and Mudrock. Thing is that I'm not sure why you want to get rid of Logos's necrosis damage. His new module gets 1 SP when attacking elite or leader. I mean, more SP is always nice. Is it better than necrosis? I don't know about that. And improves his lexical evolution. Not the chance to trigger. Still only 40%, but it will do 5% more damage. Yeah, I'm gonna say his first one's probably better, still. Oh, also my sinuses are acting up today, something fierce. Maybe I'm sick, I don't know how that would be possible, but maybe. But I'm not gonna miss, I can't miss episode 15. But I've gotten a box of tissues. Allergies? Maybe. Except apparently there's no pollen in the air. And it's pretty bad today. But I'll probably be muting a lot, and I'll try to remember not to forget to unmute. The Mudrock got her Y module, which gives her a new trait of increased attack and defense when she is alone, and buffs her damage resistance against Sarkaz enemies by 5%, and gives her damage dealt increase to non-Sarkaz by 20% at level 3. Interesting. What was her other one? The other one was 15% less damage just from enemies blocking her, which technically means that Sarkaz would have 45%. But actually, that one's still better for Sarkaz. And it increases her shield stuff, which is good for sustainability. I would say probably the shield one's still better, but at the math on I'd say, yeah. The math between 15% less damage and 8% more attack, or more defense, rather. I assume the less damage is calculated last? I don't know. The Y seems to be more offensive. Technically, it's like buffing her defense, but it's 8% more attack, 20% more damage, just in general. Still leaning towards the shield one, though. I got English voices for Pinecone. I'm interested in that one. Mizuki, that could be interesting. So, the banner. Obviously, we're pulling. But I don't know if we're gonna pull immediately because I don't know if I trust them not to maybe spoil something in the onboard dialogue. They don't do it often. It's happened maybe once. But if there's ever a character to do it, it would be this one. We'll hold off. It won't happen today, probably. If it does happen today, that would be wild. But it probably won't happen today. Are they all headhunting? They're all headhunting, okay. No, no episode character this time. We've got Warmy's mom for more mom nights. That's a thing now. It really is. Got some random dude who knows who this guy is. Wind Scoot. He's a liberator. Still have never used that class. So I can't really judge them. But he's a 4-star, so he is the weakest of all of the ones available. And Alana is an artificer, another class I've never used. But she gives attack speed and defense ignore. Both are nice on paper. It's time. We'll take a look at Monster when we're inside. Well, bam.
Hey, Doctor, come over here for a bit. Let's see.
Took a while.
The crops cultivated in Jiangxi this year are indeed taller than a man.
Ambient synesthesia, new arrivals, a great Ines skin, a great stainless skin, a great Mulesy skin, a great Mastamus skin. I think Logos is probably the weakest. It's not bad. A questionnaire, and that's not new. These are old. Don't see the banner. My God. How peculiar. Maybe they don't want to spoil anyone. Probably not. That's strange though. How does that happen? Well, we aren't polling today anyway, so that's fine. Verification expired. Oh, they noticed.
Arknights.
Data expired. Please log in again. Yeah. Okay, we'll close the game. Hold on. They noticed. 4 minutes off. At least it wasn't like that one time. Nope, there we go. Oh, now we gotta download 500 megabytes? We downloaded 9 gigabytes last month. What more do you want from us? Shouldn't all of this be in the game? Gosh, some of these outfits are so good. I wish they were all in the game. Oh, they crashed. They didn't fix anything. Once again, asking where's that PC client they announced? Specifically, the outfits that are really good are, I mean, these ones are not bad, but specifically this group, my goodness. La Pluma, that would have been a great outfit for La Pluma. Oh. La Pluma only has a swimsuit outfit, right? Missed opportunity. Asking for donations for what?
Arknights.
Let's try this again.
Doctor, come over here for a bit. Let's see.
Survivor medal.
The crops cultivated in Jiangxi this year
What did I
are
survive?
indeed taller than a man.
Survivor medal. Is that a secret medal? What is that? Wish I could organize these in some way that I could tell where that was. Progress medal? Who knows? We'll never know. Oh, there it is. Survivor medal, I think. Obtain all the other medals. Episode medal. Interesting. Okay. All right. Is the banner there? Yeah, there she is. Ambient synesthesia packs as well. Anyway, Mulesky skin purchase. Ambient synesthesia tailor provided golden revelry. Dress carefully picked by Mulesky's. The top is bright and brazen like the early dawn light, and the skirt is soft and sable like the moons playing across a still lake. A perfect union of luxury and solemnity. And a little doctor statue. Mastema outfit. Ambient synesthesia tailor provided ethereal harmony, stage clothing picked by conductor Mastema herself. A mysterious blue serves as the main hue, a blue of grace and beauty, a fitting accompaniment to the stage she built. Ines outfit. Taylor provided melodic flutter. Clothes Ines wore when posing for a music-themed portrait. The magnificent dress is a perfect match for the music as the butterflies dance to the melody, bringing the reverie to life in vivid detail. What's over here? Monster Siren, Renegade, Squad Unknown, Settle into Ash, Arsonist. Was that the order of songs? No. That's not the order of songs. That's the Dynamic Trio's theme songs. Renegade and Arsonist are Wishadel's. Squad Unknown, I believe, is Ines's. And Settle into Ash is Hodoer. That's a fun inclusion for them. Since all their skins always include each of them, but this one is, because it's music themed, it's just their songs. That's fun. Don't know what that says down there, if it says anything. 4, I think, 4 something. For all the people? I don't know. Stainless, why does he have a cat in armor? Did not see that coming. Taylor provided Empty Crown, outfit Stainless tailored for himself with unique armor designs and bold weapon modifications. He has successfully recreated the image of a heroic knight in his heart. I don't actually own Stainless, but, you know. But you know, it's good. Logos. I have to think about logos. So, yeah, we're not pulling today, but update. I got to level 45 in Icebreakers yesterday, so I got the skin for Vermeil. I also leveled up some people to 90. Like Lapland. And other people. Still should do some more as well, but yeah. Counts it has an operator record, I think, now. Yep. No time to waste. Dissociative recombination. We find our hearts something or other. Where moments fade in cosmic streams and stars in silence sigh, the boundless thread of ancient dreams unfold across the Oranginium. The blackened depths are teeming with star fields gently streaming. Light approaches amidst starscapes tidal gleaming. Let spheres unnumbered guide our flight, where constellations turn, and burning dark and quenching light their lessons we discern. For in ceaseless circulation, through annihilation and life's passion, we find our hearts yearning, reborn, and not alone. What did it say when we came in here? We find our hearts yearning, reborn, and not alone. Okay, it's the final line of the poem. Segregation zone. Closure's backup. For a skin I already own, of course. Of course, okay. So what happened last time? I guess I should do that. I didn't actually prepare that, but like episode 14. Episode 14 was crazy in and of itself. So much happened. Omninom was activated, assimilating Londinium and Victoria into Oranginium. I mean, we learned what like Oranginium is in a simulated universe containing the knowledge of the predecessors and the knowledge of people whom are killed on Terra, especially the infected, right? They're like the infection or apathy is just being assimilated into Oranginium. A bunch of people were assimilated into Oranginium and confronted Teresa, the Sarkaz, what do they call it? Completely drawing a blank on what they called their death. The Myriad Souls. The Myriad Souls was the Sarkaz being stored inside the Oranginium, and that has been destroyed now. There is no more Myriad Souls. The Sarkaz are freed from that cycle. Inside, also Oranginium, the priestess is lurking somewhere out there. Episode 14 was also technically towards the end, not completely, but towards the end of the war. We know from succeeding events that the Sarkaz withdrew under the leadership of Babel established by Rishadel. Amia went with them. Amia goes with them for a bit to hang out in Kazdal. The Omninom was recovered by Babel, but as we found out, Teresis has gone missing. I think they hinted recently that he like probably went into Oranginium as well. I think that was implied recently. So I'm not exactly sure where this is picking up from. But this might cover the search for Teresis, because they had to like figure out where he went and find Omninom to recover in the first place. So that might be part of this. I'm not sure. The end of past and present tells with silence the last light breaking, and the still hours is come of the sea tumbling in harness. Universe. How should we interpret this word? With mathematics, physics, faith, imagination? We exhausted our minds attempting to define this still unfamiliar word in a variety of languages, and arrogantly claimed to have mastered true knowledge. So why are most of us silent when destruction is so near? You cannot turn back from knowledge. Since we have glimpsed the partial truths of countless fallacies, it is only natural that we cannot retreat into the darkness of ignorance and ignore the advent of the end. I think perhaps I've touched on the key to resolving this ultimate question. Use the language you and I created. It's time for this war to end, Doctor. The purple flames ignited by that Draco have accelerated the course of the war. Once the Exemplars and the Ducal Alliance's troops push into Naz Shalim's final stronghold, our goal of concluding this war will finally be within reach. But, Dr. Coutsett, how long will it take for us to cover this short stretch? There's no way to tell, Amia. Londinium outskirts, wreck of the Gloriana, but the syntax was broken, so it was supposed to be italicized. Oranginium. Bloody Oranginium's really chopped this battleship in halves. I have to remain here and continue to fight with the local garrison. Sorry, kid. Can't go on with you. Tough infected. Really infected. Her arm is messed up.
This whole time we've seen nothing but ruins and dead. No Kerosins at all. Also, please don't call me kid. The monastery's already celebrated my coming of age.
You remind me of my daughter. See the light shining up high there? That's part of her Grace the Duke of Castor's Gloriana. That gun's still working, which means the news I got from the broadcast is true. My squad served the Duke, so I have to go back.
But your wounds?
I can walk since you've helped patch me up. But you, are you sure you want to go back to the city? It's the most polluted place there is. The active oranginium is there. It will be the death of you.
The bishop told me that the kind person who saved me from the mines went through hell and back to deliver me all the way to the monastery. So I knew from an early age that salvation never comes without a cost. Don't worry about me. Clergy taught me many ways to keep myself safe. As long as I can save one more person, anyone, before I reach my end.
Frank, this is the first time I've seen a cleric as devout as you. Your kind heart is the pride of Victoria.
The bishop says faith is not at all for pride or glory. The faithful believe with sincerity that good deeds will better this land.
Better this land, maybe. But anyway, thanks, little countess, for everything. You helped me out one last time, kid. You make this back to the city. My family, my daughter's still there. Please tell her that Papa has always protected her.
The Victorian soldier struggles to raise his injured arm and gives a non-standard salute to the Countess before calmly turning towards the distant wreckage and vanishing into the thicket of Oranginium. The Countess looks to the faint light emanating from the ship's gun and cannot help but to sigh. Artillery sounds in the distance, and the tiny Countess continues towards the city on the horizon, Londinium. I hear the cannon fire too, Doctor. Madame Catherine's crawler is already assaulting the Noxahere's front. But will the war end once we beat them? And the innocents who've suffered, what will happen to them? There is no way to save every single life in a war, Amia. What we can do is help the Londoners end this misery as soon as we can. And that means the Noxahere aren't our ultimate problem. Nameless Londinium Refuge.
Mary, Davy, please don't tell anyone else this kid is hiding here. I met him in the city walls. He has nowhere to go. His parents are Londoners, he said, and he met you two in the park a long while ago, yes?
I don't remember. You helped us and I promised to help you, but he's not you.
Thank you. He'll just hide here and won't run off or make a sound. I guarantee he won't give anyone a fright.
Nods quickly. I feel like they've named kids Davy before. I don't know if I don't know. Feel like we've seen that name before.
I'll be back soon. I promised someone I'd find his daughter. It's impossible for me to protect you out there, and there's so many hostiles. Sorry, I couldn't find anyone anywhere better for you to settle down. I've helped quite a lot of people here, though, so I trust these kids to keep you safe.
The tiny Sarkaz tugs sharply on the Countess's arm, but touches the pointy oranginium crystals instead. He pulls back his hand on reflex. Sorry, when I was with my pa and ma, we rarely came in contact with infected.
I'll come back for you.
The Countess is not gone for long. When she arrives at the soldier's home as directed, there is nothing left. But letters found in the ruin tell her that the soldier's daughter joined a force rebelling against the Sarkaz in the city, the Exemplars. It is a difficult journey for the Countess as she returns to the refuge, when the Victorians join forces to attack the Sarkaz front at the Palace of Westalig. Oranginium continued to spread throughout the city. There are also those mad Sarkaz mercenaries wandering recklessly around as if they've lost any semblance of humanity. Her head hurts, and from the city's terrible condition, but also from the horrific black crystals on her body. I might be nearing my end now, Father Bishop.
Excuse me, were you the troops who protected the people here from those mercenaries?
Yes, we have both Exemplar and Ducal Alliance troops in our squad, and we got a distress call while we were gearing up to enter the palace. Trust me, this mess will be over soon. Thank you for taking care of the kids and refugees. Are you looking for someone?
The Countess shakes her head.
Right, we did mop up some of the devils hiding about, probably here because their side's about to lose. See you. We have to hurry on to the front.
I don't see that kid.
Follow me. The leader, or the child leads the Countess through the bunker after bunker. Within the factory, and the latter spots other refuge residents silently carry away Sarkaz corpses. They walk up to a pile of containers, and the child struggles but manages to push the messed up lid open. The cowering Sarkaz child from before looks at them in fear. He's here. I promised you I'd help you, didn't I? It all happened so suddenly earlier, so this was the only place I could hide him.
But he can't stay here. On my way back, I met a group called Reunion. Thought they can take him in.
Interesting that the Exemplars were part of that group, and they also apparently helped kill the bunch of Sarkaz just now. I guess the exemplars are just a bunch of random kind of people coming together, so a lot of them are going to just still be Victorians, supranational Victorians. Yeah, don't worry. We'll take good care of that one. What about you? Your path is serious. You should come with us too.
I still have some things to do.
Alright, I won't force you. You remind me a lot of my comrades. Here's some suppressants and protective gear. Good luck.
You too.
Victorians advance in waves from afar towards the Noxahir's king's last stand as life fades away. That is not her war. She feels fear and has no way of comprehending how these people overcome their fear of death, what keeps them pushing onward. But she hopes to save people too, to continue numbly one life after another, even if it's all in vain. She recalls the day she left the monastery, when she and the bishop bid each other farewell by the riverside church.
What is faith, you ask? I traveled to Iberia in my youth, and saw with my own eyes how the lives of those around me collapsed during the profound silence. But that tenacious nation has never once yielded. At first, I only admired the country's vitality. As I lived my life, I came to realize that vitality, that is faith. Who was there to teach me, or even the other Iberians, what path to take in life? Did anyone promise us we would surmount such a terrifying disaster? No, but faced with calamity, we always convince ourselves everything we go through is inevitably for something. Suffering will eventually end, and we will enjoy a wondrous future. That is faith. Faith does not reside in scripture, nor in our prayers and hymns, but in our lives. Faith is in our bodies and mind, in every heartbeat, in every breath. It is the source of all strength, only because we believe.
Father Bishop, if it is as you say, that all suffering eventually ends, then where is our wonderful future you're talking about? Father Bishop, I think I've tried my best.
The Countess collapses from exhaustion among the ruins, to the sounds of gunfire and cries from afar. An intense pain reminds her of a cruel truth. This body has met its end. She waves to those nearby whom she saved from death, staying alone in a wide open space far away from them. Her body begins to disintegrate.
I'm willing to believe.
The light caught in the Countess's eyes begin to dim until she sinks into endless night. Then she seems to see someone holding her almost shattered hand, and light begins to flow back into her eyes. What's wrong, Amia?
I think I heard the sound of an infected disintegrating again. I could almost even see their final burst of light, not too far from us. We've seen this happen too often lately.
It's time we end this. Let's go confront Teresa's.
Let's go, Doctor. Doctor.
Calcit, a thought occurs. What exactly does stasis within the assimilated universe even mean? Does that place where we've been prevent even time from escaping? A surge of information rushes forward, trying to engulf him, but Teresa's does not budge.
Finally, I see with mine own eyes what a great feat you've managed, Teresa.
A simulated universe, time unknown. He looks up at the tower standing in the void as falling fragments turn back into irregular information and return into the nothingness. Teresa's grabs a fragment that has drifted down to him, but it instantly turns into nothing in his palm.
You opened this door for me, so I'll finish this last part of the journey in your stead, Teresa. Once we Sarkaz seize the Oranginium that belongs to us, we shall for the first time hold the power to determine our own future.
He grips the blade in his hand and stares coldly at the large rhombus approaching him. Don't look at the rhombus! Then he walks toward the crumbling tower. He knows well his opponent will be there. Destroy anything just to create a ladder. Teresa has left a path for him. The myriad souls who never gave up resisting until they completely dissipated did one last thing for the Sarkaz within the Oranginium. They fought for a future where everyone has a right to survive, and for the ones still alive. Onward, everyone.
Just as always, my blade will cut our path forward, and you will lead the way. I never break my promises, Teresa.
He walks up the flight of stairs towards the top of the nearly collapsed tower. Yeah, so he entered it. I can't wait until we find out what what the rhombus is. Can't just like it's not just the symbol of Oranginium because it's its own entity apparently. Calcit warned the Doctor in episode 14 not to look at the rhombus. Bearer of the sword, and death shall have no dominion. No units at all. Awesome. Oh, there's story. It's a tutorial. I didn't think there was going to be a story. Hold on. Actually, was it a tutorial or was it a special level? They're both like kind of similar colors. Might be a special level, actually. Unknown language. New redundant information. All that remains is nothingness. He looks at the rhombus, it appears to be. An eye staring at me. For the first time in his life, Teresis feels a shiver run down his spine. But it isn't his own instinctive reaction. He feels that a force, a will he can't see is trying to make him submit. Maybe we'll get my answer sooner than I thought. Be you a god, or my creator, come out and face me. Dead silence, cold. There is no response from the void. Master, you shouldn't have come here. Oh, snap. I don't know. Well, I don't know if this is the real Ascalon, actually. Could be a fake Ascalon created by the Oranginium information. Her Highness has already made a terrible, reckless mistake. I do not want to lose another person I care about. Master, leave this place. The time is not yet right. Yeah, this is not the real one. You should not use her to mock me, O self-proclaimed creator. The Ascalon standing before him is no illusion. This marvelous space has materialized his memories. In my memories, you are the same as before, just a little less mature. Yeah. Since those who truly control this place dare not face me directly, then Teresa has indeed succeeded. They must have already been subjected to numerous restrictions. Otherwise, those arrogant beings wouldn't have tried to get you to stop me. Teresis raises his sword. You still don't wish to leave with me, Master. If you really want to take me away, then defeat me. As you wish. You're skilled, but you're merely using the skills I've taught you. Ascalon disappears into a purple haze. She's used her Oranginium arts. Teresis thinks back to the day he and Teresa led the remnants of the Sarkaz army into that storm. The day he walked into the purple smoke alone and took the knife from that girl's hands, just as he does again. It has been some time, Ascalon.
the will inside Oranginium. You hide in the void, gazing upon me, trying to crush me with the memories that I treasure. What do you fear, Creator?
Yeah, so the rhombus is an eye. Look at that in the background. That's awesome. So the rhombuses are eyes of the creators. Now, is that just the priestess then, or are there other? He did use plural at one point, but he might not know anything, right? So is it just the priestess, or are there like multiple entities technically in charge? And are represented by the rhombuses? Interesting. Because like Ami's eyes are rhombuses, right? Because she's the king of Sarkaz.
I always wanted to stand before you again, Master. A shame you are not her.
Well, I don't think the doctor, I mean, yes, technically, but he's obviously, we're not in Oranginium, right? So, we're not a rhombus, I guess. Unless it's some simulacrum. Whoa! Why can't my Azkaban do that?
You won't last for much longer, Master. Teresa has left more behind for me than you think. Did you expect I would tread this unknown ground unprepared?
He watches the rhombus approach from the void. He already understands.
You're watching me, aren't you? Teresa beat you once. I won't fall behind. I will sever your control over Omninam. Cannot harm me. I told you. You need to be more decisive, no matter whom the foe is. You took too long. Huh? I stand where they departed, the end to which Teresa guided me. I was never the only one putting the hubris of the gods on trial. The voice of the Sarkaz has been silent for too long.
The shards of the tower gather around Teresis before they return to entropy. Gentle whispers. He hears the defiant cry of the Sarkaz against fate.
Do you think you would witness me cower? God who plays this game. Did you think I would submit to sentiment? You don't know me, and you don't know the Sarkaz. Look upon my sword, Azkaban.
He's dying. Oh, snap. Man, his attack speed sucks.
Mission accomplished.
Got the slowest attack speed in the game. The rhombus-shaped eye is collapsing. Teresis raises his head and looks up at the golden sea above. The platform's descent is slowing, but it will still eventually crash into the ocean. As he steps onto the platform, the sky and the ground up and down instantly reverse themselves. In this barren void without any rules, what does destruction even mean? Just what should he do now? Teresis isn't sure. You will vanish, Azkalan. I've severed the connection between you and a certain will. Master, I've just seen a great many images flash by. They were all images of me, but why do I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience? Why does it feel like I'm so far away? That's just my memory of you. Of me. You aren't a false phantasm, but you aren't the real Azkalan either. They're mocking me, and you as well. I will put an end to this farce myself. Master, does this mean you're going to die? What difference would it make? I'm sorry. I wasn't able to save you. No. You did well. You did plenty well enough. Teresis swings his sword with all his might, cleaving the memory construct and the already broken platform in two. Azkalan begins to shatter into pieces. Her shards, along with the other debris, fall into the golden sea, transforming into more chaotic information. Go. At least take a few of my memories when you go. Catch up to Teresa and the myriad souls on their journey. He can no longer hear Teresa or the myriad souls, but he still has a slight sense of familiarity with the information scattered around him. Everywhere, although it's vanishing quickly. She's fighting against it, as are the myriad souls. Okay, so the myriad souls aren't gone. They're fighting back? The tower has completely collapsed. Everything has returned to the sea of data, and the sea is slowly calming down. Teresis is also falling into the vast golden ocean. He is silent and minuscule. This is by no means the end. But do we have enough time left? Teresis, our blades will not be enough to destroy the gods. However, we may manage to destroy them with our own methods. But I can't promise you this will work. I have no reason to doubt your judgment, Teresa. Tell me what I must do. Face the gods directly. Teresis turns around and, without any hesitation, swims for deeper waters, disappearing fully into the black abyss of data. After a moment, the surface of the sea begins to stir and boil again. Then the sea splits open as if sliced by a sharp blade. Chaotic streams of information surge endlessly into the abyss. Unknown language. Connection unstable. It's you. She opens her eyes and sees the small, frail creature. Then all the violent scenes come to a screeching halt. Throne Room Palace of Westalig. Autumn 1098. Angry low moan. Azkalan did not need your help. Disapproving roar. This is not the proper stage for your fair fight. Teresis does not have much time left for us. Azkalan, how are your wounds healing up? Don't worry. With Intellekia's help, I'm recovering quite well.
According to Ascalon's reports, Teresa's really has returned from the command center. Neshalem surely chose the Palace of Westleg as the site for the final battle with an eye towards protecting Teresa's. However, currently, Teresa's and Teresa are still concealing their true motives from the other members of the military council, commission even. This includes Manfred, the nominal leader of the military commission.
Manfred stands alone in front of the empty throne, facing you down. Ascalon is fully locked onto him, leaving him no room for any reckless moves. The standing water from his earlier battle with Ascalon has soaked Manfred's cloak, leaving him slightly disheveled.
Teresa must have already captured Omninam and handed it over to Teresis. But Teresis is not here, and Manfred seems unaware of his whereabouts. Doctor, do you think he went there too?
To the assimilated universe.
Teresa has been moving too aggressively. If Teresis reasserts himself yet again, the damage could be irreparable. Hera, as it stands now, is woefully unprepared, regardless of the outcome.
Calcit, what are the chances of our success? Are we prepared to deal with any potential outcomes? Or any and all potential outcomes? What's the chance of success?
Judging by our own past experiences, I can say that Teresa has a full understanding of the rules that govern the assimilated universe. Analyze the rules, rebuild the order, and work with Teresis to seize the first Ornithinium. I believe that Teresa's abilities, this is far from a pipe dream.
That did not answer my question.
Dr. Kutsit, do you mean we are helpless to do anything? Not at all. If their plans succeed, what Teresa and Teresis are seeking will still falls within the bounds of our understanding. We may not face the worst case scenario. But if they fail...
Calcit looks at you, her eyes filled with worry.
Doctor, must return to the Rhodes Island landship as quickly as possible. We might still have one last chance to buy Terra a brief moment of respite.
We must get Manfred under control. Instead of worrying about things that have yet to happen, we should eliminate those variables that already exist. Excited cry. Monster agrees with me.
I will protect the doctor and restrict Manfred's movements as much as possible. Settle this quickly. Be wary of the T-Kazwurzen that he's carrying.
The what? Have they used that word before? Just as the T-Kazwurzen in Manfred's hand begins to glow red, the king of Sarkaz's arts and Ascalon's blade descend upon him.
This must end. Move.
Ascalon instantly dissolves into purple mist, scattering amidst the flash of the blade before reforming again. The barrier woven by Amia protects you and Calcit, but it begins to falter against the blade flash. Furious howl. Shields with all its might. Oh snap. Oh snap. He's a tad bit infected. The blade's master slowly emerges from the darkness. He looks even more terrifying under the faint light. You've put yourself into this predicament. Your Highness, you...
it looks like Nar Shalim is fulfilling his end of the bargain. You've come here to see me. Very good.
You see a man standing calmly before the throne, Teresis. He looks nothing like the man you once knew. He's tightly gripping a vivid gleaming crystal. Nam, you've succeeded.
You seem surprised. You too have set foot into the void. You too have witnessed her departure. You know full well the heavy price the Sark has paid for this. And yet, you never believed the Sarkaz had any right to claim it. Isn't that right, Dame Councit?
At least for now, we rejoice in your success.
I thought you would rejoice in my death, Dame.
Huh? What's going on? Oh, Manfred. His oranginium infection level is a little high.
I don't know what he's encountered, but needless to say, the assimilated universe's chaotic information continues to rapidly corrupt his will. It will carry on this way until his entire body is fully recorded or recoded into another format.
Oranginium. How much longer can he hold out?
Frankly, I'm stunned he's managed to survive this long.
Your Highness, I shall escort you out. Maybe we can still find a way to... Londinium does not need me anymore. Please handle the remaining tasks. I must do one last thing for the Sarkaz, while my mind is still clear. Rhodes Island, the equality you seek may be a noble goal for all of Terra, but we Sarkaz will not be there to greet its arrival. Such bitter irony. You and I brought about that outcome with our own hands.
You. And now you're walking the very path she once laid out for me. Nam is responding to Teresis' call. The entire underground throne room begins to shift. The path by which you entered is now gone. The hull is sealed. In the lower layer of Londinium is being filled at a pace visible to the naked eye.
Stop him.
The surging oranginium assimilates Amia's arts, something she has never experienced before.
It's not working. Why?
But Teresis still shows the same rarely seen panic or pained look on his face.
Countess, you are much like her.
Something's not right. The oranginium assimilated Amia's attack.
He's currently adapting to and studying Nam, but the more he is exposed to it, the more the chaotic data streams will impact him. The first oranginium, having had its authority seized by force, cannot possibly compare to the state that it was in when it first created. We still have a chance.
We don't have to attack head on. Stall, he can't hold out for long. I need to get closer to him and Nam. Just trust me. You'll never forget how you felt in that moment you nearly lost Amia. However, you feel a torrent of jumbled information rushing through your mind. Time is slowing down, but you can feel the oranginium you control. Maybe, just maybe, you still have a chance, as long as you can remember everything that happened. If you can do that, you'll be able to stop the oranginium.
I'll do my best to carve a path for you, Doctor.
Monster, do not worry about me. Protect the Doctor. Doctor is the only person out of everyone here who can stop Omninam. Hesitant roar. Trust me. Opens claws to protect you. The surging oranginium activates the pool of dead water that has lain still on the surface for ages. Mist clinging to your mask makes it hard to see the road ahead. However, you feel a silken thread wrap around your waist, gently guiding you forward. Amia.
Keep going.
I told you before, this conflict ended long ago. Teresa and I fully understand that there is no place for us in the Sarkaz's future. However, Azkalan, Manfred, your future does not lie here either.
Oranginium creeps up Manfred and Azkalan's bodies, pushing them toward the edge to the end of the battlefield. Manfred's so confused.
Leave. Go to a safe place and wait there. Remember to take Omnanon back to Kazdil.
Wait, your highness! Manfred's voice vanishes within the underground throne room. Teresa's has already scuttled him off to a safe place.
You don't get to make decisions for me anymore.
Azkalan dissolves into a purple mist, slipping through the cracks in the oranginium and remaining in the throne room. She is everywhere all at once, just waiting for an opportunity.
Folly.
Omninam still flashing, but his movements are becoming increasingly difficult. The oranginium is restricting his arms, his eyes, and even his thoughts, but still he forces himself to remember one goal: to bury everything here. He needs to hold on to his last shred of sanity so he can leave Omninam with Manfred, who is finally safe. He struggles to lift up his sword, as he once did when he served at the side of the King of Sarkaz. He raises his sword for the Sarkaz one final time.
We meet again at last.
Have you ever looked up at the sky? Beyond that sky, far beyond twin moons, there is a place that we would once return to, where we would sleep peacefully. But I am the only one left, here speaking with you, in the course of the Sarkaz's eternal search for the remains of dead gods to fend off your enemies. Have you ever wondered, why did those gods die? In the sea filled with both truth and the unknown, I saw a fleeting vision of the gods before they died, and the root of the pain you bear. I now understand you, though you have already passed away. Now I'm the only one left, and am speaking to you. Before I retire to my eternal slumber, I will destroy you. I shall build a ladder for the Sarkaz. No longer will anyone toy with the fate of the Sarkaz. We shall reclaim our own destiny. Teresa swings his sword. A beam of light stings your eyes and you rack your brain trying to recall how to stop Omninam. Amia's barrier breaks layer by layer. Amidst the gleam of the sword, you think you see Monster's huge frame blocking your view. Stop! You suddenly remember everything about the moment you almost lost Amia. You remember how you stopped it all. You did it, Doctor. You remembered. Priestess. You. Ugh.
You told us that we would only have one chance to strike. You really have slowed down a lot. Is this voice in the smoke? Is this Ascalon or? Not sure. Probably. You really have slowed down a lot. Teresa struggles to lower his head and sees the blade that has pierced his heart, as well as Ascalon, with a determined look on her face and tears in her eyes. The figure steps out of the smoke and pins Teresa to the throne with all her strength. Omninam and his sword fall to the ground, lying in the shallow water reflecting the dim light. Master, this is the end. Teresa raises his head, her hand. Careful, do not let him touch it again. Teresa clutches Ascalon's assassin blade and uses all his strength to slowly draw it from his chest. There is no blood, there is no warmth. All that's left are a few shattered crystal shards. Well done. You finally found your conviction. Your heart. It stopped beating a while ago. I've repaid my debt. Take it. Teresa, straining, shifts his gaze towards Omninam lying on the ground. Find Manfred and Kazdil. Go home. You. Ascalon feels himself being pushed away by a very weak hand. I will stay here. I cannot let the Sarkaz know my fate. He hears faint cheers from above, the cheers of the Victorians. The Noxahir King is gone. His war ended just before mine. Victorian blues of the Doctor. I was able to gaze upon the true face of the gods. I only regret that I was unable to completely defeat you. Calcit? Assuming he speaks the truth, he may have brought Terra a moment of respite. Regardless, we must continue our preparations, Doctor. And Teresa's, he will remain here. I will ensure that no one disturbs him, and no one finds him. She holds up Omninam and Teresa's sword. Dr. Calcit, Omninam belongs to Kazdil. Must return to Kazdil. We must consider this matter carefully. The damage the Sark has inflicted on Londinium is bound to stir a new wave of hatred, and without proper guidance, it could lead to an even darker nightmare. This war must end, but Kazdil must also take measures to protect itself. We can go to Kazdil together and watch how they use Omninam. This really is the best move, Calcit. There are many things we need to discuss, but not here. First, we must use Omninam to leave this place. Give it a try, Doctor. Strange, it's not responding to me. Let me try. I can feel a faint connection. Think it's responding to me. The sealed passage reopens yet again. Is it assaulting my thoughts? Enough. We can't just keep using this thing haphazardly. We need to do more research on both its uses and its potential dangers. Ascalon looks at the figure on the throne. In the darkness, she cannot make out his face. Her eyes are a bit blurry. I will go with you. I will respect his wishes. I don't need to witness his end. Ascalon. The Countess hugs Ascalon tightly. Ascalon suddenly realizes that the frail Countess she once found in the wilderness has grown up. Let's go home together, Doctor. You'll go on ahead, I'll catch up. I'll stay here to protect you. Monster is staying here, and it should be sufficient. Teresis is no longer a threat. We'll wait for you outside.
It's very quiet. All you can hear is dripping water. You silently creep closer to the man on the throne. You don't fear death. You can't kill me. Yes, that is assuredly true. That is why you remain here and mock me. His voice is hoarse. You're forcing yourself to speak with me. You have won my respect. You're more determined than I thought. But you are on a suicide mission. I never imagined you could seize Omnom. You are heroes in the eyes of the Sarkaz, but... Why are you laughing? I'm laughing at you. You know nothing. What did you find in the simulated universe? That is my secret. You have no right to ask. I have no desire to belittle Rhode Island's yearning to heal the wounds caused by Omnom, or Oranginium rather. Yet, it is still so ironic. In the end, if you find that real monster is you, then what will you do? Our own? Exclamation? What have you learned? At last, or alas, I will not live to see that day. You and I will never get along, or never really did get along. It was so then as it is now. He grabs at his clothing. It seems like he's trying to find something. There are deeper cuts on his breastplate, wounds left by Azkaban. He finally finds what he's looking for, the stone blade he always carries. Warning roar? Calm down, monster of Calcit. He's just trying to throw you the blade. It's Azkaban's. Leave. You are not worthy of witnessing my end. Directly below the Palace of Westaleg throne room, on the lowest throne in Terra, the regent of the Sarkaz accepts his fate alone. This first Victorian throne, which has been eroded by time and bears little resemblance to its original form, was moved here intact when this nomadic city was first built and became part of the foundation of the Palace of Westaleg. The king who built Londinium said this symbolizes that Victoria's royal authority is everlasting from beginning to end. According to official Victorian records, the Sarkaz mercenaries, led by an organization called Babel, withdrew from Londinium in October 1098. However, the leader who ultimately directed all of this, Teresis, vanished without a trace. That's a direct quote we've had before. Throne Room, Palace, Westaleg, end of Kazdal's heroic age. So, vanishing without a trace is a bit of a lie, right? He is actually dead. We know that, we just haven't told anyone. His ears can no longer hear anything, but the sound of the ocean waves floods his brain just as it did before. This is the voice of the assimilated universe. An endless stream of information crashes into his consciousness. It is frenzied and unclear. It is beyond his understanding. Teresis has very little time left to think. His final shred of consciousness surrenders to the vast sea of data. His consciousness comes to rest beside a lonely monster. The ugly T-Kaz, wearing a black crown on his head, walks out from the silvery mountains. He looks up at the vast starry sky. The eternal starry sky, the wild, primal continent. From every corner of existence, countless lives look beyond the earth and stars. They all gaze up at the same universe. He is not lonely. He feels more calm and peaceful than he's ever felt in his life. At last, I see the past you once saw as you once saw it, as well as the future. He wants to say something more, to call that name one last time, but he can no longer speak. He's totally exhausted, but as he prepares to close his eyes, a faint white ray emerges from the darkness.
We insist that you know the parting words that she left for you. As Teresa left with the myriad souls, she heard your voice among the many who called out to her. Our time has finally come to an end. Goodbye, Teresis.
He strains to open his ears. His field of vision grows ever darker. But he recognized the figure in white some time ago, as soon as it first appeared. Goodbye, Teresa. He doesn't need to hold on any longer. He flashes a slight smile and allows his last wisp of consciousness to dissipate. The light dispels the darkness. The light brings forth the darkness. When the light pours into his eyes once more, he seems to have gone backwards, back to the moment before the collapse. Unknown language. You are lost. Who speaks to me? It has been a long time since this place has seen a new visitor. Or are you the last survivor of the ruined planet? I remember my consciousness was shattering, and then disintegration, death, but why? In any case, welcome. Come, seek me. Oh. I thought it was... I thought it was Teresa's. So the hand she saw... Interesting. Okay, so that's an interesting little twist there. So... when this girl was dying and the hand came out to grab her, I thought it was Amia. Right? And I think they did that on purpose. But then we saw that Amia wasn't actually there, but she like felt it happen. So I was like, okay, so it's like more just like a delusion and death or something. But no, it wasn't. So then... I mean, I guess it could have been Teresa or Priestess. I mean, they all have white sleeves, so it's a bit difficult to tell. We'll find out. It's a cold voice though, so I doubt that's Teresa.
remember her hand reached out to me before I died. This place.
The countess, who should have perished and returned to Taran soil, looks around in confusion. She had never seen a place like this before. Light falls upon her and she feels warm.
Where are we? Land beyond death, the home of the gods.
Man, if you die and you wake up in a spaceship... that's... That'd be so wild. Mind-bogglingly confusing for sure. What the? Doctor, the new adverse combat difficulty is available for this stage. Okay. Tap here to enter adverse combat. You can directly enter adverse combat and begin the simulation. This way, only the sanity required for adverse itself will be consumed. Upon completing the simulation, the corresponding standard combat stages will sync up. Yes, I know. In addition, once the adverse simulation is completed, strategic simulation unlocks. By choosing to take on this increased difficulty, you can earn simulation points. There's a third difficulty? Which gives us some items. And unlocks the H stage. To get the H stages, you have to do the advanced difficulty. Oh, interesting. So, hold on. Started speaking and then my nostrils leaked. So we dealt with the whole Teresa's arc immediately within the first mission. So, man, what's happening now? We're gonna jump forward in time? Because we know, like I said before, at the beginning, we know that they, like Babel goes to Kazdal, all the Sarkaz flee to Kazdal. They use Annam to be like, hey, don't mess with us, we have a super weapon. That's within the next month, like and the war technically like ended in like late September, I think, and then October is when stuff happens. So I wonder, yeah, who knows what's about to happen. In the name of a miracle, now we shall sleep in the light of a wondrous day, where hell and heaven shall leave thee free, the universe of destiny. What are these little... The currency is like a badge that says courage and it has a smiley face on it? I guess one thing is, of course, I mean, we just saw what's going to happen. Something to do with the girl who's now in the simulated universe past with the spaceship. What? What does that have to do? Like, why is she important though? Why was she sent there?
Sunlight's a little spicy.
Let's use
Just let me take 5.
some of the characters. Although I guess I don't have Moss Summit upgraded, so I can't really use her skin, but I would like to see them. Who was the other person? Oh yeah, Inez's skin. Okay, I guess I did not activate. See what that's like. And I don't have stainless, so yeah, okay. But we should use, I don't have, we should use monster.
I will correct any flawed decisions that occur
Should use
during
the
exploration.
current one, not the new one. And then, yeah, everything else is fine, I guess. Unless we want to use Amia for the
Yes, I understand.
thematic theme as well. Probably should. Oh, we're just gonna stick with it. Awesome.
Bells. Why am I hearing them ring from all directions?
Her voice is so soft that it does not even echo off the walls. Whenever the foggy light comes, lots of tiny holes appear in the walls, opening and closing, breathing. When the light disappears, the walls turn white and silent.
Light. Very different from the holy city's light that the bishop talked about. That light is a simulated F spectrum. I can hear you. How can I see you?
She presses her nails to the wall. It feels warm and soft, as if she's touching someone else's fingertips. So she places her whole palm against the wall, pressing closely to the wall's fine patterns and textures. Wherever her hand moves, the patterns stretch along the wall, along with it, as if they're quietly guiding her by hand.
You're responding to me.
She runs forward for a bit, and the wall extends with her, leading her.
There are so many doors and so many different paths here. They all lead.
The Countess stops walking. She sees a god standing in midair a short distance in front of her. Its silhouette is massive. The surface of the god's body carries a murky sheen, unlike that of any metal. It nimbly arranges a vast array of glowing fragments into patterns. As the patterns change, the fragments shift color and turn. But the girl notices that there is no halo on the god's head. The mid-air colossus completely ignores her, gliding past without hesitation. Is it a robot? I would assume so. Oh yeah, no. Yeah. It's making some kind of music noise? I don't know. I don't know how to describe that. Another similar being approaches and stops in front of her. Beep boop. Gonna do robot noises. It seems to be asking her a question.
I don't understand what you're saying.
It's interesting that her first description of these things is to consider them gods. I guess maybe because she is dead, so she's like, well, they must, I must be seeing God then. Or maybe because they have some similarity to maybe how the law is described, since the law is also a robot. I don't know how they describe the law, though, if they actually describe it as a thing. Or just a concept, I don't know. I've never read the Laterano Holy Book before. The god is quiet for a moment, then it switches from its own language to another one and continues talking. Your use of language is primitive. The god extends its supple limbs to cover the Countess's head. The Countess nervously shuts her eyes. There's no need to fear. I am analyzing your brain frequency and will upload it into Anseta. Language, you sufficient to communicate. Not yet vectorized. Extrapolation, deduction, language, temporary adjustment, resonance necessary.
I can't understand you. Can you understand me?
Indubitably.
Then you are God?
The Countess nervously asks the question that she is most desperate for an answer to. God, question, definition, necessary.
The bishop says that God is the embodiment of the law and the Lord of the Holy City, who protects the sick and the dearly departed. But these things that he says were never recorded in the history books.
Forsake God. God, no, not necessary.
If you aren't God, then who rescued me? Why have I been brought here? Or is this kingdom come? Are you here to guide me into the kingdom?
Questions too many. Resonance lacking. Communication inefficient. Ray distorter. Partial answer. Show you. The being who calls itself Ray Distorter uses its limbs to draw a window in the air and drag it to the nearest wall. The image in the porthole quickly fades from view. A pale, eerie light wells up from nowhere, flooding the entire window. The image sharpens gradually, and the Countess girl looks out the window. Oh. A shattered sphere floats in a dark expanse of space. Dotted with countless stars, it is frozen at the moment of death. All the pasts that have not had time to be told shatter into dust and are cast into the frozen void. The dust particles find each other and circle around the former garden. They clump together into rings that float in the air. The Countess girl and the Ray Distorter sail atop these dust rings into the dead silence. We see, sail, salvage. You shudder, fear.
The faraway things, the twinkling things, they look like eyes. It's really scary. They're just stars, but they feel alien to me. There are too many of them. They're too close and too bright. You're not scared?
Fear is unnecessary. Fear too limiting, too inadequate to describe. The Countess looks through the window and sees that tiny holes have appeared in the walls of the ship. The white light appears somewhere far, far in the distance. It starts growing and growing until it covers up almost the entire window. The blinding light caresses the surface of the land of death, covering and hiding everything from any would-be watchful eyes. The Countess girl looks directly at the light, as I fear it is continually invading her heart, a fear she does not understand. It's the pale light of a dying star. The dead planet still orbits the star, and the great ship clinging to the star ring must endure its light and its wailing again and again without end. Yes. Only grave, no holy city. Only cycles, only laws, no gods. Universe, welcome. You, traveler, name?
Hierda.
I don't know when it started, but the nickname the clerics used to tease me with became my name. Administrator, permissions confirmed. Unlocking restricted access project, PRTS repair, audio log number 0422. Access restrictions unlocked. Data or date unrecoverable. Play log under development area. Subject counts it. The dust has settled in Londinium, but hopes for peace in Victoria seem dim. How much time do we have? I know you're listening, PRTS. I need you to do everything you can to restore monitoring the cradle process in the middle decks under development area. And prepare to grant closure access to my permissions. Authorization Abyss, thank you. There's a lot left to do. How much will I manage myself? Playback finished. Erasing access log. 3, 2, 1. Log has been erased. Administrator, do you want to unlock the next classified log? Operation confirmed. Unlocking next log. Rose Island Landship 1101. Oh yeah, we jumped forward, alright. "1101 really is the new present day sort of thing. That's when everything is kicking off. "3 years after the Londinium incident. Oh, hell yeah. The new character, Beepy. Sliding quickly. Proudly claiming credit. And it's Alana. Yeah, good work. Seems like closure and mechanist upgrades were effective. Spins happily. Hey, the repair work in this sector is nearly complete. She feels a small body make contact with her back, hugging her neck and giggling. Alana knows the giggle well. Sometimes it makes her happy, and sometimes it makes her anxious. Takes the girl she loves so much up on her back. I have to look at the exact date. I don't remember when Grinning Valley actually happened, but I'm pretty sure it's early. I can't imagine it's post-Victoria. Also, that's a huge wrench. Just want to point that out. That wrench is ginormous. Pot lid. I smell cream stew. Lawns, you're gonna ruin the surprise. It smells good. I couldn't help myself. You sure are happy, I guess, the doctor agreed. Yes, I saw that there was an opening for volunteer work in Rim Billington office, and I signed up as soon as I could. The food I cook now can't cure a miner's oropathy, sure, but our Rhodes Islander friends can, and I can still fill their stomachs. If Savage and Ray can't vouch for me, the doctor might have rejected my, or hadn't vouched for me, the doctor might have rejected my application on the spot. This really is just a Grinning Valley sequel, huh? Mentioning Ray and Savage. I don't think it shows up in the wiki. Oh, really? Maybe we don't know, but I remember that one feeling weird because it felt like it should have been an event much earlier on because of how they present information, right?